Good morning, everyone. Lucky Poncho here. Today is Monday, January 14th. I'm weighing in at 184 pounds, and today's meals are a bean and egg burrito, a cheese sandwich, and salad, nachos. I'm in a little bit of a hurry today. Today is a Monday, and you know what that means. The day ahead of me looks hellish and grim. And so for today's episode, I'm going to do two things. Firstly, I'm going to apologize for not dancing when I reorganized the room. I actually did dance and somehow forgot to edit it in, so whoops. But it happened. Secondly, we're starting a new goal today. I'm going to start a dream journal, and today will be the first entry. So rather than writing them down in a journal, I'm going to just briefly describe the dream at the beginning of each episode, and that should allow me to recall the details later. But for today's episode, I want to tell you all about this dream I had last night because it was really weird. Okay, so it starts out I'll try and keep this interesting because it was really strange. I know sometimes hearing other people's dreams is like, yeah, it's going to be weird. That's what we expect, but this one is just one of those things. So it starts out, I'm making a connecting flight. I've landed in wherever, and it's time for me to go check my luggage through, or my rolling suitcase through to go to my next flight. And so I go to the baggage check and I check my suitcase. And then after I check my suitcase and they've taken it back and it's being put on the plane or whatever they do with it back there, it's being thrown basically. I realize that I don't have any of my stuff, and it was all in my suitcase. So I don't have my wallet with my ID. I don't have any money. I don't have my cell phone. I've got nothing. I don't have my boarding pass for the next plane. I got nothing. It's like, well, crap. And I realize this because I check my pockets. Every day before I leave, I always check my pockets. I have to have, I have the same thing as my pockets every day. I got my wallet, I got my handkerchief and notepad, I got my keys and pens, and I got my cell phone and chapstick. That's chapstick's just for the winter, but you get the idea. Those things are in the same pockets every day. Same orientation, same everything. And so every time before I leave and let this door close and lock behind me, I check and see if I have my keys, and then I go check the other pockets for everything else. So I did that in the airport. They're all empty. I have like a handkerchief, and that's it. It's like, oh crap. So then I'm in this position where how am I gonna get my luggage back? It's already gone. And so I go over to the help desks, and the help desks are swamped with tons of people having problems, and it's all these really long lines, and it's like, oh man, this is bad. This is really bad. And it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to try and get on to the next plane. I'm going to try and go to the gate and convince them that I am me without my ID. Apparently, I believe I could just talk my way onto the plane, which, yeah, that would totally work nowadays. So it's like, all right. And for some reason, I went back out to like the lobby of the airport, and then I had to come in through security again. And so I'm walking up to security, and I'm thinking, oh crap, why did I? Because apparently that's what I had to do in order to go to the next plane. I had to leave and then come back in through security. So I come out to the lobby, and then I go back in through the security door, and I'm in line to be scanned and take my shoes off and stuff. And I realize there's no way I'm getting through security without an ID and stuff like that. Something's weird here. But thankfully, I didn't have to go through security because the airport was attacked by a dragon. Like, just in the nick of time! Yes! Woo! And so it's like, okay, so now the airport is being destroyed by a dragon. And everyone is flying around outside, breathing fire into the windows, people are dying, and I'm just running around trying not to get killed because I have nothing. It's literally just me and my clothes. I'm not even carrying a carry-on. I have diddly besides my handkerchief. It's like, okay, so I'm running away. I'm trying to hide. And I eventually end up going outside. Like, why is this the idea? Like, I don't know. I'll go outside of the airport. It won't look for me there. Like, what? Okay. And so I end up hiding behind some chain link fences. Clever, eh? The dragon will never see me there. And I'm safe now. And so somehow I managed to get like 100 yards away from the airport. But for some reason, the airport is in the middle of this gigantic field, like it's on a flat world in Minecraft, and there's nothing around it. So it's just this airport which incidentally looks a whole lot like a Roman temple with the big columns and the triangle at the top. So I end up like 100 yards away from the airport, hiding in between a bunch of chain link fences. And I'm sort of wedged in, and I'm looking, and for some reason the dragon can't see me through the chain link fences. It's totally working, and he's just going around and killing everybody at the airport. And I'm sort of safe for some reason. And so eventually the dragon gets done torching the airport, and he comes over and ends up flying right by me. And the chain link fences were kind of like this, so I was in between them, and I'm looking out from the chain link fences. And these chain link fences were something like 50 feet long, so this was a really long V. And I was right in the middle. It was a very tight V, so I was kind of wedged in between the two. And he comes flying by, and he realizes, I can't get into that guy. That's chain link fences. That's too narrow a gap. I can't get in between there. And so he can't get to me. But he saw me, and so he's like, all right, I'm gonna use my dragon powers. I'm gonna get this guy's name, and I'm gonna tell all my dragon friends about this, and they're gonna look for you when you come out of there, because I gotta go somewhere. Apparently he had a flight to make or something. I don't know. And so I don't say anything to him. I'm just frozen. So I know he's seen me, but I've got my sunglasses on. So I'm hoping that if I just sit really still, he'll think I'm dead. And so I'm just playing dead for the dragon, looking right at him through my sunglasses, like, this is bad. And he's just hovering there, and at some point I realize I know he can see me. But I'm just like, okay, well, I can't move. I have to pretend I'm dead. And so he looks at me, and he tries to just look at me and spell my name. I don't know what kind of dragon power this is, but he sucks. He got it totally wrong. He's like, all right, HACEAN. HACEAN something. It's like those are the letters that he came up with. It was in all caps in the dream. And I don't know if it was on my shirt or what, because he seemed like he was trying to read it. But it's totally wrong. Like, none of my names are even close to that. And so he's like, all right, I got his name. And he goes and tells all his dragon friends and flies off. And I'm like, oh, this is crummy. And so I'm looking out, and it's like, all right, well, I got to try and get home. I got to go to that airport and see if I can get a flight out of here. Like they're going to be running flights right now, and they just had a dragon attack. I don't know. And so I start to come out from the chain link fences, and I'm making my way over to the airport, and like a bunch of his dragon buddies are flying around in the distance, and one of them sees me and is coming over to try and torch me because apparently he heard about HACEAN. What? So it's like, oh no, I gotta try and get to the airport if I can get killed. So I pick up some scrap from the ground, some scrap chain link fences. I got a piece about this big and then a piece about this big. So I'm holding one on this side, and I got the other one above me. Like, these chain link fences are going to keep me safe from the dragon fire. And apparently this is totally working. He's breathing fire on me and I'm not getting killed. But I gotta go. I gotta run faster. And so I decide to drop the chain link fences and run as fast as I can. And for some reason in this dream, that means running on all fours. And so I drop down and I'm running on all fours with my hands and my feet. And that's just a little bit faster than running on my feet alone. It's like, what the fuck? It doesn't make any sense at all. And then I realized, oh, well, if there's this many random dragon encounters, this is clearly Skyrim. And so I quit running on all fours, and I just pushed left bumper. And so I started sprinting, and it was way faster. And then I woke up. As soon as I started using buttons on a controller, I think my brain was like, oh, this is weird. This must be a dream. No, it wasn't the dragon attacking the airport or the invincible chain link fences. It was me pushing a button on a controller that made my brain go, something's not right here. Yeah, so that was the dream I had last night, and today's going to be the first day of a dream journal. I'm going to keep it for at least a week. I'm trying not to do it too long. It might get boring. So for the next week, every morning, the first thing I'm going to do when I get up, right before I make the video, which is pretty much the second or third thing I do in the morning after I shower, every morning I'm going to make a little note about my dream, and I'll give a quick, like a 1-minute synopsis in the video so I can remember the details later, but otherwise I'll be writing them down. So, have you had any weird dreams last night? I don't know if you're going to see this video early enough in the day to remember them, but leave a comment. Do you remember any other really weird dreams? Because, gosh, I have a few from my childhood that I could talk about that were just totally bizarre. And Eventually, I want to talk about lucid dreaming. We might attempt that at some point in this project because I've done it a few times and I'd like to try and do it again. But like I say, the day ahead of me is hellish and grim, so I best be moving on. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow morning.